Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya Radharamana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Haribo, 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 Go Haribo. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Gaura Premanande. Thank you. Wow, it smells nice. Welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. We're going to venture out on the open seas with a small boat of desire to please the Vaishnavas and the Lord. Let's see, who all were here last year in our seminar? A few of you, and that means the rest of you not. So that's fine. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadeshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. As I said briefly yesterday evening, our session is called Yoga, the Art of Play, and I'm playing with 2 verses of Bhagavad Gita. for making this title. The first verse is from chapter 2, I believe it's verse number 50. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukrita duskrite tasmad yogaya yujasva yoga karmasu kaushalam. Krishna is explaining to Arjuna about Buddhi yoga, and he's saying that if one's buddhi, one's intelligence, one's reason is properly engaged, buddhi yukta, and then one will not be bewildered in with respect to duskrita and sukrita, good activities, bad activities, and good activities. And therefore he says, tasmat yogaya yujasva. Therefore, be engaged in yoga. And then he gives a little kind of a definition of yoga. In the last line, yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga, and Prabhupada's definition is yoga, the art, kaushalam, of work. The word kaushalam can have many meanings, but we're taking it as Prabhupada gave as art. So the art of karma. Yoga is the art of karma. What does that mean? Anyone have any ideas what that means? The art of karma. The art of, we could say the art of action, the art of doing things. Anyone want to venture explanation for us, a brief? Why would Krishna say that? Don't everyone speak at once. Yes, Anandash. Knowing how to work, okay. When I think of art like in an art museum, or maybe on a stage, dramatic art, or musical art, something maybe a bit different from it certainly can involve, and generally does involve, some skill, but there's something more about art. Any other ideas? Yes?
To my mind came the picture of walking on a thin rope, like an artist, and because you don't want to be negligent in your duties, but you also don't want to be completely attached.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. You're thinking of it as a person walking on a tightrope and keeping balance. So that's nice. Okay, it's the art of keeping balance in one's work. Perhaps we can think that way. Yes, Venkata Prabhu.
There's an expression, people say, such and such is more art than science.
Uh-huh.
So I was thinking, the art of work as in, there's no like one strict formulaic way of doing it, but
Mm.
it's kind of figuring out what that looks like. It's more of the exact science, it's more of the work, you kind of know it when you see it.
You know it when you see it. Okay, yes, for the broadcasting, we can maybe a little bit repeat. We make a distinction between art and science often. So someone may say, well, art is somehow different from science, where we think in terms of some sort of precision, measurement, and so on. And you know it when you see it. When you see good art, you kind of know that's what it is. Okay. As I said, there are two. Yes, Yamuna. Yes. Uh-huh. What we can do best. Okay, thank you. Yes. So you're pointing to the individuality, perhaps. We each have our unique abilities, capacities in performing action, and to sort of do our very best in something. We could say that is performing the art of work. Yes? Yes. I'm not knowing your name.
For me, it's like art of karma is when Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, is like to have the knowledge of what you are doing. You should have the knowledge of your karma, like because that will reflect in the other decisions.
So know what you're doing. know what you should be doing. Okay, thank you. Yes, Anandita.
I think in the short story, there are three workers. They're working on building a temple, and they would ask, "What do you do?" One say, "I'm earning money." The second one
Yeah.
tell, I'm helping to build this temple," and the third one told, "I'm serving God."
Okay, very good. Yes, there's three different attitudes with regard to the same activity with respect to what is the purpose or the understanding of the purpose. And we could say the last of these, I'm serving God. I'm building a temple. Yes, but what is it really? I'm serving God. So that we could take as what Krishna is meaning when he says the art of work. Yes, very good. Yes.
Sometimes with artistic works, you have to go a little bit deeper to find different meaning to it. So perhaps when Krishna says the art of working, it's implying that on the externality it appears that the person's working. But when you go deeper, there's really no work in the sense that it's not materially binding.
Okay, good. That's actually explaining the notion of karma yoga, where, yes, you're doing so many things, but it's yoga. And we could say yoga karma sukoshalam is saying that. Yes, honey. There's no heart without art. There's no art without heart. Okay, so action without heart, we could say, is a problem. Yes, thank you.
More the level of art, you use different types of brushes. So it's up to you which brush you want to use.
Uh,
If you use a thicker one to be more bold, or you can use a finer brush to be more subtle. So this way you're creating art out of it. Yeah. Anyway, so it's up to you which brush you choose.
Okay, so you're different strokes for different folks, different shloks for different folks also. Thank you. Yes, good. The other verse which I feel is relevant here, I mentioned yesterday evening from the 6th chapter of the Gita. Yukta haraviharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapna vabodasya yogo bhavati dukkha. That Krishna recommends that, in a sense, whatever we do, but he gives 4 things specifically. Ahara, which means eating, but it can just mean consuming. He says should be yukta, it should be appropriate, it should be as yoga. The word yukta is the passive participle of the word yoga. So yukta ahara viharasya. Vihara means, it can mean recreation. And recreation is What do we think of when we think of recreation? Let's hear from you some thoughts. Recreation. What resonates with you? I know you've been so long engaged in devotional service, you totally forgot what is recreation. Yes, Stephen. Swimming. Okay. For you, that's recreation. That reminds me, we used to say we heard, maybe Prabhupada said, there's two kinds of sport, Vaishnav sport. Swimming and wrestling. So years ago, before the Berlin Wall came down, we discovered a third Vaishnava sport. It's called smuggling books. We used to smuggle books into East Europe. Okay, swimming, what else do you associate with? Yes.
It has to be fun, and you don't do it because of the duty.
Has to be fun, and you don't do it as a duty. Yes. Gives you energy instead of taking energy. That's very good, yes. I want to actually learn names. Can you please tell me? Ananya? Ananya means without anything else. Ananya Bhakti, just Ananya. Oh, okay. Very sweet. Okay. So vihara, and so Krishna it's in Bhagavad Gita. If someone objects to you engaging in some recreation, you just have to quote, I think it's verse 17 of chapter 6. Just say, Krishna says we have to do some recreation. It's bona fide. It's part of devotional service. And the result, he says, is dukkha. Yoga bhavati dukkha, the removal of dukkha, of suffering. When all of our engagements, ahara, vihara, cheshta, what was the fourth one? Resting. When these are done appropriately as yoga, then all suffering is removed. That's what Krishna says. Okay. So that's the basic concept. And why is it that I'm doing this? That's a good question, because I'm not learned in these matters that I want to talk about. Rather, it's the other way around. Srila Prabhupada once told Burijan Prabhu, and I found this very inspiring. He said, learn something and teach it to others. Learn something and teach it to others. So I'm teaching to others, and thereby I'm learning. It's a little backwards, but actually that's also an appropriate. I was teaching in university some years ago a course on religions of India. I'd never taught a course in a university before, and then I heard that it's kind of commonly said that if you teach something 3 times, then you have a pretty good idea how to teach that subject. So I taught this course once, and after the one time, I thought, whew, that was really experimental. I'll have to do this again. And then the next semester, I thought I'll have opportunity to teach the course again. But the department chair said, actually, no, we want you to teach a course on religions of Asia. What? Asia? Now, as far as I know geography, Asia includes a lot of area beyond India. And you want me to teach you? I don't know anything. And they said, well, good luck. That was interesting experience. So yeah, this is my motivation, but I think also because there's something perhaps that we could, I feel there's also a need in our communities for more attention to this dimension of our culture. I remember years ago a devotee was telling about how things were in the old days in New York Temple. He said that every Sunday, the Sunday program was going on, the love feast, as we used to call it, Sunday love feast. And he said every Sunday there was also a small, short drama performance. Usually something comical, the boatman and the professor, or the fish out of water, these kind of little stories. And we may explore some of this during these days. But he said the temple was packed. People loved it. So many people came. They wanted to see the devotees perform. We don't see that so much. So I feel this is something that we need to encourage, and so I'm hoping to be a little bit functioning in that way. Now, I want to suggest, before we get into this, that we do a bit of icebreaker activity. If you could now go into, I would say, twos, maybe threes, with whoever you're sitting next to. And I have a question that I would like you to discuss. And I know this question you're going to go, huh? What does this have to do with Krishna consciousness? Well, let's see. Okay, here's the question. What would you include in a time capsule? Do you know what is a time capsule? Time capsule is some, it can be a box or a tube or I don't know what, something which is made to last for a very long time. And some people make a time capsule and they'll seal it up in very elaborate ways, and then they'll bury it in the ground. And even they'll plant a tree on top of the time. So they want that it will not be discovered for a long time, maybe for, thousands of years before somebody finds it. But they'll put whatever they think should be somehow communicating our present culture into this time capsule. Okay, so here's the question. What would you put into such a time capsule? Let's do this just for a few minutes, one person and the other, with each other, okay? No, you can put all sorts of things. You can put lots of different things in this time capsule. Doesn't have to be limited to just one thing. it seems there is no lack of ideas of what to put in this time capsule. Anyone want to share with us what you want to put in this time capsule? Yes.
We discussed and it came out like we said.
Yeah, microphone would be good. Can we have a second?
Please mute and unmute with the switch here, yeah? Microphone.
Okay.
It's on now or it's off?
Okay.
Just give it and then you can unmute.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, let's see.
Hello. Yeah. We discussed and we said like we will put inside a letter and saying we are not a body.
You'll put a letter in which you say we are not this body, okay?
And second thing
In
we
which
said
language?
German. And second thing we said that we will put that the culture of living, like the way of living in India, with family, sharing family values, traditions, togetherness,
Okay.
strengthening in the time of happiness and strengthening also in the time of sorrow. And third thing we said we will put Gita inside.
Acha. Somehow these were all a little bit predictable. Okay, ladies in the back.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is your name?
Yamuna.
Yamuna. Another Yamuna.
Yeah.
There's
Yamuna,
two Yamunas in a row.
Here and here.
Yeah.
So I think this question is very interesting. I just realized with our conversation with my dear friend here that you can look at it from different angles. Is it a time capsule that you're gonna make so you can see the things in your future before you leave your body?
Huh.
Is it a time capsule that you leave for others when you have already passed? I said things, and after I realized it was very egoistic, like material things, and a letter for my future self. My friend said she would put memories and feelings into a disc for herself to see. So I think it's very beautiful how you can go at it in many different ways.
Thank you. That's interesting. A time capsule for oneself. Yes, maybe, after this life and after however many lives, you might come back and discover a time capsule that you yourself planted, and you might find yourself amused by what you have put in it, right? Okay, yes.
Thank you.
And your good name?
I'm Gita.
Gita. Hare Krishna.
Hi, well, we were talking about both including nice things about Krishna consciousness and also something that would show what our current culture looks like.
Oh.
Like maybe in a bad way. Like we would put a picture of Krishna and Radha and maybe write the Mahamantra as well. We were thinking about a way to also put a recording of the Mahamantra, but maybe technologies change in the future, so I don't know. But then we were also like, we'll put a phone and plastic and maybe maybe like a picture that shows that like 80% of people are unhappy and like in their current jobs or something.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay. And you said you'd put a phone.
Yeah, because everybody has them and most people are addicted to them.
If it's far enough in the future, that people might say, what is this?
It would be the Stone Age. It would be the phone age.
The phone age. Oh, no. Yes. Your name is?
My name is Jayatam Madan Mohan.
Jayada Madan Mohan.
Yes.
Okay.
Smaraj. It's interesting, as you said, that the phone, people would not know in the future how to operate it because it might be too primitive for them. So what we were discussing, and we came up that how in the early ages, how came to know what was the past, like in the cave paintings, and because it was not a language, but it was pictures and something like this, which can be understood. Anyone can understand it by seeing it. It's not a language also. It is not a, it's just pictorial. So
pictorial, yes.
So how we have the temples in South India where everything is carved on the pillars.
Yeah, in stone.
Yeah,
right.
so it's still 1,000 years and we still know what is happening by seeing that picture. So something like this,
yeah.
If you could do on stones or carve on it and carve something of Krishna consciousness, and if that is a way how we have to...
Okay. Yeah, I think you may have realized that we make a lot of assumptions about communication with respect to the future. And if we think about it, it sort of confronts us with the temporality of our present situation, our present culture, because if we try to project long into the future, we don't know what might be there. We don't know. I mean, there's ideas now that our very species, human Homo sapiens species, is under threat. Whether we will become another extinct species on this planet is in many people's minds. So that was just a little exercise to get us thinking about our present situation, actually. A way to think about it is to imagine a future. And we may say, I'm also wanting to get our imaginations going a little bit. And something that I feel needs to be encouraged and explored is how we use imagination and how we can use imagination in Krishna consciousness. This morning we heard from Mother Kosharupa this wonderful description of Uddhava visiting Vrindavan and meeting the residents of Vrindavan. And it occurred to me that we read this, we hear this, and what else do? We picture it, isn't it? Something in our mind comes from the words that we hear, which is not words. That means we're using our imagination. Something is happening as we hear or as we read, and that's an activity. It's to use the old Sanskrit expression, karma. Karma just means action. So this is an action of our minds, and of course we're seeking to awaken some feeling, some emotion, some bhava from that. And this is happening with the help of, we can say, our imagination. Okay, as I said yesterday, also, I want to do kind of two things in these sessions. One is to read, and we may discuss some things from our tradition with respect to drama. And the other is, the second part is where we do a bit more engagement ourselves in activities which I referred to yesterday as semi-improvisation. This is going to be a little experimental, but I think it'll be fun. So first I want to start, though, with the the work, the amazing work of one of the greatest poets of our Gaudiya Vaishnava tradition, named Kavi Karnapura. Kavi Karnapura, as he was named by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was named by his parents, I believe it was Paramananda. He was Paramananda Sena, the son of Shivananda Sena, and he had the quite special good fortune as a very small child to suck on the big toe of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's something. Not everyone has that opportunity. That's something one might create a little sketch about. Sometime later, a few years later, in my memory it's mentioned when he was around 7 years old, again he was, I guess, with his parents, and they met Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu kind of suggested offhand to this young boy, recite something, recite some poetry. And Paramananda immediately composed and recited a beautiful verse praising Krishna. And Mahaprabhu was astonished. And he said, "You are Kavi Karnapura. You are the one who's, you are a poet who fills the ear with poetry, Kavi Karnapura." And so he was blessed by Mahaprabhu in that way. Now, one of the interesting things, of course, in the course of his life, he developed great, profound talent as a kavi. And one interesting consideration is that he was not part of the Vrindavan Goswami community. He remained in Bengal throughout his life. And of course, we take it for granted that communication is the way it is nowadays, electronic communication, but in those days, there's, 1,000, 2,000 kilometers between Vrindavan and Bengal, so there's not a lot of communication going on. Some Bengalis would come and, some back and forth, but not very much. So it was like a separate world of Gaudiya Vaishnavism that was going on in Bengal as the Goswamis, Srila Rupa Goswami, Jiva, Sanatan, Raghunath Bhatta, Gopal Bhatta, that they were creating their culture of Krishna Bhakti in Vrindavan. So he was completely separate from them, and in his separateness from them, he developed his own ideas. What is good poetry? There's a tradition of poetic scholarship in India that goes back at least 2,000 years, where scholars, pundits, they'll write poetry, but they'll also discuss and debate. And you may know about this from Chaitanya Charitamrita, when the young Nimai Pandit encounters the Pandit Keshava Kashmiri, and they have a discussion about poetry in which Mahaprabhu, then Nimai Pandit, finds not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 faults with one verse one Sanskrit verse of this great, great scholar Pandit. And that's discussed how Keshava Kashmiri was humbled by this young upstart Pandit, Nimai Pandit. So there is this very rich culture in India that has gone on for centuries and thousands of years. And it's that culture which our acharyas, especially Srila Rupa Goswami and Kavi Karnapura, developed in the direction of Krishna Bhakti. Now, this is a huge topic, and I'm not going to linger on it, mainly because I'm not myself qualified to do so. But what I want to do is just read a few verses and a bit of the and translation, and of this one drama which was written by Kavi Karnapura. Kavi Karnapura wrote two works about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and this is his second work. It's in the form of poetry, Sanskrit poetry, but it's not all Sanskrit, because in traditional Sanskrit drama, some of the actors do not speak Sanskrit, they speak Prakrit. In general, although it's not exclusively so, in general, a female actress will not speak Sanskrit, she will speak Prakrit. And a person who is considered of a lower rank is likely to also speak Prakrit and not Sanskrit. What is Prakrit? That's a whole nother topic. You can look it up on Wikipedia. There are many Prakrits, and there's debates about the history of Prakrit. But there's a relationship between Sanskrit and Prakrit, but they are different. So he wrote this work, Chaitanya Chandrodaya Nataka, and I think it's also interesting that some of what he wrote in Chaitanya Charitamrita becomes, Chaitanya Chandrodaya, becomes material which then Krishnadas Kaviraj will use for his Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it becomes a resource for him. All right, alam alam, enough, enough. I'm going to now begin to explicate a little about this poem. Now, this is a translation which I found, as one does nowadays, on the internet. I believe it's from the late Kushakrata Prabhu, who was prolific translator, whom I met once at his home. Anyway, that's another story. But he just loved, he would just spend all day translating the Goswamis. He said, in this way, I feel that I'm in the association of these Goswamis. That's why he was doing this. So, a Sanskrit drama, a classical Sanskrit drama, begins with a Nandi shloka. A Nandi shloka is a shloka of benediction to those who have come. So here the Nandi shloka goes like this: Nidishu kumuda padma shankha mukyeshvu aruchikaron navabhakti chandrakantai virachita kalikoka shoka shankur vishayatamangsi hinastu gaurachandra. It's 9 new Chandrakanta jewels of devotional service eclipsing Kuvera's lily, lotus, conch and other treasures, and its arrows of light wounding the Chakravaka bird of Kali Yuga. May the moon of Lord Gora destroy the darkness of the world. So there's a lot of poetic expression just in this one verse. It's typical to start with something to do with the moon. Yesterday we had full moon, Guru Purnima. So, but it's in the form of a blessing. Hinastu Gorachandra, Vishayatam Mangsi Hinastu Gorachandra. May the moon of Lord Gora destroy the darkness of the world. So it's a kind of wish, it's a well-wishing. And then comes the Sutradhara. The Sutradhara he's the stage manager of such a drama. And he comes on stage and he says, "Enough with this pompous words. Listen today as like Kudjala splendid sapphires scattered by sea waves on the shore, like a great forest of many-leaved tamal trees seen from a cave of Nilachala mountain, and like an intoxicated elephant playing deep in a banyan forest, Lord Jagannath went on procession to Gundicha. And as the entire universe became filled with jubilant calls of Jaya, Jaya, from mouths of men in every direction, and as blissful-hearted devotees filled the directions with a tumult of Bhagavad Kirtan, and as women filled the directions with shouts of joy, and as there was a deafening tumult of sweet mridangas, vigorous patahas, mahapanas, panavas, many dakas and dakaras, and deep beris, bankritis, and dundubis, different kinds of drums, I was suddenly approached by Lord Jagannath's servant, King Prataparudra, whose heart was wounded by the disappearance of Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, and who said to me, ... So this is this is not in the form of verse. This is prose. So drama will have both. It'll have poetry and prose. So he's described the Ratha Yatra going on, and in the midst of Ratha Yatra, what's happening? The king approaches the Sutradhar, the stage manager. What he's doing here is he's explaining how it came about that this drama was written. So now the king is going to speak. Yata ham ho charana charya. Okay, this is poetry. I think I'd like to read it. So yam nila giris. Let's see. So yam nila girishvara savibhavo yatra chasa gundicha te dik vidik agata sukritinas tastadidrik shartaya Aramaschata eva nandanavana Shrinang tiraskarina Sarvanyeva mahaprabhung bhatavina Shunyani manyamahe. Oh playwright! So this is Prataparudra speaking he's addressing him as a playwright. Oh playwright! Here is the same powerful Lord Jagannath. Here is the same Ratha Yatra festival. Here is the same Gundicha temple. Here are the same pilgrims come from all directions to see the Lord. Here is the same garden that eclipses the beauties of Nandanandana. Still, without Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I think everything here is a desert. And then he says, to please me, please write a sweet, beautiful play, fragrant with the virtues of affectionate Lord Chaitanya, the best of sannyasis. So that's the prompting. That's, he wants, the purpose is to, what's the word I want? And to ease the pain of the feeling of separation. So it's out of a feeling of separation from the Lord that the devotee is inspired to recreate the activities of the Lord. I mentioned yesterday, we find this in the Bhagavatam, in the Rasa Panchadhyaya, as it's called, the 5 chapters of the Rasa Lila in Canto 10 of the Bhagavatam. Krishna attracts the gopis to dance with him in the forest, but then after a short time, he disappears. And when he disappears, the gopis all go searching for him in the forest, and they're calling for him, and they're addressing the trees and the plants and the animals, and no one is responding, and nothing, and there's no trace of Krishna. So in their desperation, you could say, their loving desperation, they begin to reenact Krishna's pastimes. And someone takes the role of Krishna, baby Krishna, and another takes the role of Putana, and they enact the killing of Putana. And like that, it's described. They go through the pastimes that are described in the earlier chapters of the 10th canto. So, and I mentioned yesterday, this is imitation, and imitation is a very the idea of imitation has been a source of huge discussion over centuries, you could say, amongst philosophers of aesthetics in the West and, also in India. The word mimesis means something like imitation. So the point is, this is about reenacting pastimes of the Lord, and that becomes a way of bringing the Lord into presence. Has anyone here attended in Vrindavan any of the performances of the Rasa Lila, not Rasa Lila, but they call it Rasa Lila in general, performances done by local children? Yeah, so you will know perhaps that when these performances are done, the understanding is that the little boy who's playing Krishna and the little boy, because it's all boys, the little boy playing Radha and the little boys playing the gopis, they are, for that time, Radha and Krishna and the gopis. And therefore they are worshipable, and they will be worshipped at the end of a performance. They'll come up and offer obeisance to them as understanding these are in a certain non-difference, they are the Lord and his associates. So there's this sense of reenacting is making present the absent Lord. Okay, this is all now part of the introduction. And one particular feature of the of the Chaitanya Chandradoy Nataka is its use of allegorical figures. And so I'm looking here, where is the beginning of the first part, Act 1. There's a lot of discussion first between the stage manager and his assistant. And it includes some quoting of the Bhagavatam. Maybe I should read some of this. Tatacha tair darshaniya vayavai iti arabhya, and then is quoted from the Bhagavatam. My devotees always see the smiling face of my form with eyes like the rising sun. This is from 3rd Canto, chapter 25, verses 35 and 36. They like to see my various transcendental forms, which are all benevolent, and they also talk favorably with me. Upon seeing my charming forms, smiling and attractive, and hearing my very pleasing words, the pure devotee almost loses other consciousness. His senses are freed from all other engagements, and he becomes absorbed in devotional service. Thus, in spite of his unwillingness, he gets liberation without separate endeavor. So this is part of a discussion about the form of the Lord, because this drama is very much about the appearance of the Lord and how he is experienced by the devotees, showing his transcendental form. Sanskrit drama is not so much about action, it's not so much about plot, especially Vaishnava Sanskrit drama. It's much more about bhava, it's about feeling, it's about rasa. And so this is what comes out in this drama. Okay, let's get to the beginning of the drama. A voice from behind the scenes. Okay, this is how it starts. The Sutradhar says, Krishna pakshe nu divasang kshayam apnoti yah sada dosha karo bharatang kim sa vai Vishnu padashritan. The waning moon may decrease day by day, but how is it possible for wicked Kali Yuga to overcome they who have taken shelter of Lord Vishnu's feet? So it's a kind of rhetorical question. Dosha akara is wicked. That mine of faults. He's referring to Kali. So what happens next? A voice from behind the scenes. Who are you to insult me with the word wicked and compare me to the moon? And then the stage manager says, he's speaking to his assistant, as we speak of him, proud-hearted, merciless Kali is coming with his dear friend, irreligion. Let's leave. So then they go off stage, and on stage comes Kali together with irreligion. So now is going to be an extended conversation between Kali and irreligion. And irreligion is particularly worried. It seems Kali is not so worried, but religion is very worried. Why? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come. Kali seems to be saying, yeah, this is meant to be so, and this is how it has to be, and you just have to face the fact that you, irreligion, are going to be, pushed back. So just accept. Kali says, Kali, so remember, Kali is the one who is more relaxed about the situation. And he says, born in Navadvip, as the son of Sachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra Purandara, this boy has cut my work into pieces. And then irreligion laughs and says, O king of the Yuga, out of fear of the splendor of the ferocious son of your powerful arms, the bull of religion, who has only one leg left, is now silent as an owl hiding in a mountain cave. Your feet are served by many servants like myself. How has your mind become so bewildered that you fear a Brahmin boy? So irreligion is going to be saying, come on, who is this? It's just some Brahmin boy. But you're, concerned about him as you are expressing. And it goes on like this. Who's speaking here? Kali says, Hari, Hari, Hari Bhakti Shiksha Sarasamana Jagadeva Nispunana Harir Iha Kanakabja Kanta Kantir Dvijabhavane Vatatara Bala Lila, purifying the world and placing in its heart the nectar teachings of devotion to Lord Hari. Playing as a boy and splendid as a golden lotus, Lord Hari has incarnated in a Brahman's house. So one thing we find a lot of in this and in such dramas generally, a lot of description goes on about what happens off stage. And here the idea is speaking on stage, describing something off stage, requires us, the audience, to imagine what's going on off stage. So here he's describing how Mahaprabhu, as Nimai, has been born in a Brahmin family. So this is the beginning, telling his history and calling upon us to imagine this Brahmin boy growing up and so on. Okay. So there's a kind of banter. You know the word banter? Banter means sort of talking back and forth as a kind of arguing, not serious arguing so much, but it's a back and forth. So it's adharma, speaking with Kali Yuga, and adharma is he's the one who is doubting about the power of Chaitanya. Kali says, by taking birth during an eclipse of the full moon, he, Lord Chaitanya, tricked the people of the world to chant Lord Hari's name at his birth. And then irreligion says, Ayamapi te Brahma, Yaridam kakataliya nyayeno papannam anyata kalpayasi, shinu bo shrinu. He says, you are bewildered. Ayamapi te Brahma. It is like the kakataliya nyaya. Have you heard of kakataliya nyaya? Who has heard of Kakataliya Nyaya? No one has heard of Kakataliya Nyaya? Oh, I think we're going to have to do something about that. We may have to perform something. It is like the Kakataliya Nyaya. It is only a coincidence. Although you think it is not, listen. Oh, listen. And then he goes on to say, you are very powerful, you have many strong helpers. What is this new sprout of a Brahmana boy in comparison to you, whose roots are so old and firm? How did you become so bewildered to fear this boy? So there's a bit of drama here. And drama means there has to be some dialogue, there has to be some, and there has to be some sort of an issue, some sort of a problem. Some kind of conflict should be there. So here there's a conflict in the form of a doubt. So this can become also substance for drama. There can be like a debate, and that can be a dramatic debate. Anyway, what is Kakataliya Nyaya? Kaka means crow. Taliya means of the tall tree, the tall fruit tree. And Nyaya, what does Nyaya mean in this context? Well, yes, but it's kind of, okay, it's a kind of reasoning, you could say. So Kakatala Nyaya, here's the story. Some pandits are sitting under a tree and discussing whatever they discuss, Sanskrit grammar, or maybe Sanskrit drama, and they're debating. And while they're busy in their debate, a crow lands on a branch of this tall tree. At the same time, one tall fruit falls down and hits one of the pundits on the head. And all the other pundits laugh. And because they're pundits, they decide, actually, we have to discuss this. What happened? And so one of the pundits says, well, it's obvious that a crow landed on the tree, disturbed the branch, and it shook, and the tall tree was just ripe enough so that it fell. And another pundit said, no. Wasn't that? It was just so happened that as this crow came, the tall tree fell, the tall fruit fell. No, it wasn't that. And then they go around and around and around about cause and effect. And, was it a coincidence? Was it this cause? Was it that the tall fruit fell and that made the crow actually move away from the tree, because that's what they noticed, that it flew up, and so on. So that's called Kakatala Nyaya. To think that something was intentional or purposeful or having a cause-effect relation, no, it's just a coincidence. Yeah, that could be something we could develop into a little skit, I suppose. Any of you would like to work on that? Yes? Okay. Anyone else want to work together with, what is your name again? Gora. Anyone else want to work with him on this? No, it's volunteering. Okay. So we need another, let's do something else. I have another plan B, and that is, I think we want to get into groups again. This time I think we'll need a bit larger groups. And what I want that we try to do, and I'm sure we can do it, is to perform a little skit And here's the story. You've probably heard this story. The body, the parts of the body, the senses, have gotten together and decided to go on strike against the stomach. You know this story? Yes? No? Okay, some of you know, some of you don't know. Those who don't know, you have to make it up, the rest of it. They go on strike because, what is this? It's always the stomach that's getting the food. It's not fair. So they want to do something about this. So I'm leaving it at that. And now what I want to ask you is for the next, let's give you plenty of time for this. We'll give you 8 minutes. And you might want to be in groups of, 5 senses plus the mind, that's 6, plus the stomach, that's 7. So you could be in groups of 7, and then you could see who can be which of the different parts, and then we can try playing it out. What do you think? Yes? No? Maybe? Yeah? No? No? Yes, okay, let's go. No, you discuss how you're going to do it.
They wanted to ask if we could also extend the session by 10 to 15 minutes.
Oh.
Then they also have more time to discuss.
Okay. Are we ready? Hare Krishna. So, who wants to go first to show us what you came up with? Don't all say yes at once. Don't be shy. No, we're going to act it out. Ooh, yes. And since you asked, you want to start? Come up here. Now, you're still working out things. What are we going to do? Oh no, we have to perform. Ah! Shanti, Shanti. You can turn this off for now. Recover it. Okay, here's a microphone.
Mr. Mind, I really want to eat. Can I get some food, please? Stomach's hungry. Senses, get to work. Make some food.
I always you ask us. You can do it yourself.
I mean, this all sounds nice, but you know, I'm just the ear. I'm not gonna enjoy this. It's all going to the belly, so.
I'm the side. I will not read any recipe anymore.
It's always so hot and sometimes so cold. Who is the food going on? I'm just burning on my skin.
I like to see the food, but I cannot eat it ever. It's always it's always my eyes. No, I cannot ever eat it.
Tell that guy, who is it actually? Never saw him in my life.
Bad news. Let's go right here. We're not getting anything. I'm sorry. So think about all the things that you want in life except Krishna. You know, what would you really like in life?
Gulab jamun.
Gulab jamun sounds nice, but can't get any gulab jamun right now. We'll find out what's going on. Senses? To your senses. What's going on?
I'm feeling so weak. What's happening?
Didn't you make food for yourselves?
I cannot think anymore.
I have no understanding.
Huh. Okay. There's only one remedy here. You'll have to make food for the stomach. And then you might feel better. You want to give it a shot? Yeah. Let's give it a shot. Just put in the mix and food. All right. Right. Yeah. Are you feeling better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, this is just how it's going to have to work from here on out. All right. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Nice, very good, very good. So one thing I wanted to say, improvisation normally would be with absolutely no planning, just, here you are, here's the scene, do it, and immediately you have to jump in. And one of the principles that they advise for improvisation is yes and. Somebody says something, some person who you're performing with says, let's cook something for Krishna. Yes, and let's da-da-da-da. And it's always positive. And this gets a conversation going, and before you know it, you have a whole performance. So that's one principle you might keep in mind, even though we're doing a bit of planning. And the other thing is, in improvisation, nothing is ever wrong. Whatever you do it's good. So, and of course we're amongst friends, so it's also good in that respect. Okay. Anyone else? Any other group ready to go to do your version? You've all worked out. Okay, another gents group. Let's go.
Anior, give me some more food.
No, I think this is unfair. I'm looking all day for good food to bring, to finger, to cook, and I ask leg to walk. I think this is unfair. We don't get anything, you get everything. I want to go on strike.
Yes, I agree. I said I use these precious hands of mine to feed you, and I get no benefit out of it.
Yeah, we want democracy. We don't want a dictator saying that what we have to do. So please stop that. We will do it on our own.
Let me talk to them. I'll sort this out. Of course. I have nothing but your best interests in mind. Look at this lazy guy over here. He does nothing. You do all the work. Why should he get any of the rewards, the food? I think you should enjoy yourself. You should take the food and you should enjoy it.
What can we do to get him down and ignore him?
from now on, I think each and every one of you should just take the food and enjoy it yourself. You're Mr. I, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, that's correct.
What better way to enjoy food than to enjoy it through the power of vision, of sight?
That's what I was taught, you know. Like, why can't I enjoy? Why I always have to do it for him and him alone, you know?
That's right.
It's unfair.
And the sound of a crisp, crunchy apple. Oh, so enjoyable. You're really going to like that.
I can see, Mr. Mind, you are my real friend.
Your best friend.
Best friend.
And what is food without...
The perfect smell of food. Nothing is more attractive. Nothing is more telling you this is... Now it's ready. Now it's time to enjoy.
So why not take in that perfect fragrance and leave Mr. Lazy to his own devices, right? Yeah. And of course, get that
yes,
good taste.
we won't do anything. We will just sit down.
Just sit down and enjoy yourselves. I'm with you.
They're going to do something about it. I know I miss Mangalarti, but that doesn't mean I get punished this way.
I tried my best. I really did. But, anyway, let's
What do you mean you tried your best? Come on. Don't they understand? Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhuvu. I am the enjoyer. As the stomach, I am the one who's maintaining all of them. How can they just strike like that? Don't they understand they won't get anything? And you are my best friend. Of course. I mean, whatever you desire, I tolerate even if it's not appropriate. You moved from non-vegetarian to vegetarian, vegetarian to vegan. I tolerated all those changes. Someday you decide you'll do nirjal fasting, not even water. Next day you break it with 10 gulab jamuns. It's not good for my functioning. Come on, man. But I still cooperate with you. Do something.
I will. I'll try my best. Also, by the way, we'll talk about gluten-free. It's really interesting. I'm going to let you know about that.
This is too much theoretical talk, you know.
How's everyone doing over here?
We're living in a democracy. Like, we serve him, he also should serve us. Not only we serve him.
Yeah, you all look a little tired. What's going on?
It's not working. It doesn't work. Give us another solution.
I'm suffering as well.
Oh, man.
Be patient, it will get better.
I wish there was someone else that could help us. Let's see, we've got the senses, we've got the stomach, and I'm the mind, but I think we need a higher intelligence. I think we need a buddhi. Can we get a...
Finally, some sense.
I think I see a buddhi over... Oh, please come join us. Can you help me out of this mess?
Well, you made the mess, didn't you? Such a politician, I must say.
We want a new president, please. He's not working.
A new president? Oh, it's a real revolution going on. Okay. Bhoktaram yagyatavasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shanti richati. And also yata taror mula nishechanena tripyanti tatskanda bujopashaka prana. I'm not going to remember it. Prana. Anyway, yata taror mula nishechanena. So you want to grow a tree, where are you going to put the water?
In the stomach?
No. Sort of. Yeah.
But it's roots.
Roots, you got it. Brilliant. That's why he's the president. Yes, you water the roots. You don't water the leaves. Poor leaves. Quick, get them some water. I mean, get them some gulab jamuns. I mean, yeah. What's between gulab jamuns and water?
An apple.
An apple?
You understand what you're saying right now.
Ah, he's getting it. Okay. And then, here we go. It's amazing. How is it possible?
Through right intelligence. Actually, he misled us.
Uh-oh. He has to go back to Gurukul and get the philosophy right.
No, he's keeping tight.
Keep him tied?
Yeah.
I have an idea. Maybe we can work.
Yeah.
Maybe from now on we can work together,
Ah.
and then we can help these guys do the right thing.
Really?
Thank you so much.
Okay. Any of the ladies? Yes, please. For that.
Push it up.
Okay. I'm so hungry. It's been a really long day. I just need the mind to help me out. Finally, you're here.
What do you need? We're here for you. Anything?
I could really go for some like khichdi with some ahimsa ghee and some paneer.
Great. Actually, I would like some of that.
I'm just so hungry.
I agree.
But they're not.
What's up? What's up? What do you need? You're always focusing on this. No, I'm here for you too.
No, I maintain the body. You feed me, I maintain the body. You feed me, I get these legs moving. What you talking? No, please. I'm so hungry. I need the khichdi and roti. I need rotis. What do you need to see?
I want to get to see.
Khichdi really doesn't taste that good. I don't see that working out for me.
Okay, maybe we can find something else.
Something that smells a little bit better, you know?
Let's create a compromise.
Pizza.
Everybody good with that?
With pineapple.
Pizza doesn't really smell.
No.
What?
No, it did.
It definitely has a smell. I can smell it from down here. The stomach
It's really
smell.
important that the stomach eats food. We need to agree on something now, okay? We'll need to satisfy.
Why is she sitting? Why is she
We're
sitting?
just gonna feed the stomach.
I need to
and
eat.
We'll come back to you
I need to
later.
eat.
I'm sorry.
Why is she
We
sitting?
have to help her. She needs us.
Please.
Like literally.
You need to feed me.
Food. Okay. We're figuring this out.
Thank you. Oh gosh.
I'll have it ready for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, some more.
Yeah. Enjoy it, okay? You
I know you made me pizza,
so
but
deserve
Did you need some
it.
salt?
Oh, that's great.
please, some. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some black
And
pepper.
maybe some sweets after. What you like?
Ooh, I could go for cheesecake.
Oh yeah, great. Okay, we'll got it.
Okay. Don't be gone for too long.
Oh, they're getting a cheesecake. Don't let them have it. Hands, stop working. Tongue, don't work. I can't even see. I'm not even gonna look at it.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. We'll feel so good after this.
Whatever. Maybe a drink. I can go for some nourishment. Ooh. They're falling.
Something is not right now.
I'm sorry. I know
I want to give you the drink, but it's not working. I don't know.
Something else is going on with these guys.
We can't continue to feed. We have to check it out. Okay. What's going on here? What are you doing? He wants to. Stomach wants to drink. Why are you?
So tired of this tyranny. We will not work anymore.
What do you mean you will not work? What do you mean? Literally, what is this?
It just doesn't taste so good. I don't see that working for us. It's like the stomach always gets everything. This is so unfair.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, you're kind of right. Okay, yeah, I
Okay, maybe we have been unfair.
Okay.
Maybe we have been unfair, but
what's with you?
What happened to you?
Before I could smell something, but now I can't smell anything anymore.
But
we can figure.
Why can't you smell? What?
Because I don't have anything to smell.
But so you need to start working.
We can figure out a compromise. Listen, I know we have in favor of the stomach. I know that's true. But if the stomach doesn't eat, then none of you get your enjoyment either. You are a team.
You are so miserable. Don't you see yourself? And I am getting weak too when I think about it. Don't you feel exhausted? And look at Stomach. He's not happy.
I do feel like I've been a bit unfair. Maybe we can come together and work something out. Let's try. I must say, I value all you senses. You make my food taste better, but I was getting a bit greedy.
That's true.
Thank you for acknowledging your mistakes.
Yeah.
What can I say? I'm quite perfect. I'm working on
I
it.
really like you, but maybe we should pay some more attention to the others.
I guess so.
Because we all need
that
you,
working out in the future.
so we all can be happy. No one can be happy on their own.
That's true.
Who's next? We have, I think, 3 or 4 more groups. We still have some extra time. The kitchen told us there's about 10 minutes extra time, so.
Is that part of the plane? The kitchen is late?
That could well be, but it's not planned, it's improvisation.
Oh, they're good at
Okay, who else? Who's done? Who hasn't done? Come on, don't be shy. Wird das in Deutsch sein?
Die Seele verlässt das Schiff, weil die Sinne nicht mit dem Magen kooperieren wollen. Hare Krishna. So geht's nicht. Besser, wir kommen wieder zusammen und kooperieren miteinander und dann können wir alle zusammen Freude erfahren und Krishna erfreuen.
Ja.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna
Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Haribol.
Simple but sublime. Okay, who do we have yet? This group back here, I think. No? Some of you disappeared somewhere. They went on strike. No? Any thoughts from your experience doing this? Any reflection? Is this a way of illustrating a point? A graphic way of illustrating a point? I think that's kind of the main idea for such a... There's a little lesson, and we act it out, and there's some humor, and it's highlighting, it's calling our attention directly to what is the issue. Yes?
I thought it was very interesting to see how different each group made it. And the functions, for example, of the mind was very different. So how it worked out, even though we had the same task.
Yeah, yes. I thought also it's interesting to see that there were a lot of politics involved. As scholars of religion will say, politics and religion are two sides of the same coin. So this is the kitchen religion, Prabhupada would say. Anyway, okay, that was one experiment. We won't proceed with another just now. What I thought we can do now is there's a song. I mentioned this, I think, also yesterday evening. And for now, we just want to start to reflect on how we might develop this into something that could be performed. And I'm introducing this with no preconceived ideas. I'm really hoping that collectively we can come up with some ideas. And just possibly, if we do this, over the next few days, we would have something that we can then perform to the whole group on Friday evening. There's going to be this drama with Gauralila Prabhu and his group, and I think we could reserve 10 minutes for something that we could do. What do you think? Is that something to do? Yes. No? Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes, okay. Madhurang madhurebhyopi Mangalebhyopi mangalam Bhavanam bhavanebhyopi Harir nameva kevalam. There's a translation for this somewhere. I have it with me, but okay, that's good. More sweet than all other sweet things, more auspicious than all other auspicious things. The greatest purifier of all purifying things, the holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything. And it goes on like this, with 8 verses. And it occurred to me that somebody who would be a little clever could develop this into a music video. My guess is that you are all much more familiar with music videos than I am. because you're all of a younger generation. And so you're going to be overflowing with ideas of how we might do something using our imagination, which will evoke the audience's imaginations, and which we can involve music. We can have harmonium. We can involve the audience also in singing along, perhaps. And I'm thinking maybe some pantomime, some dance gestures, pantomime, something to make more graphic and a little dramatic, perhaps, each of the 8 verses. But we want to think about how to do it so it moves, so it's a song, possibly with pauses. We can have a very short pause between each one, where somebody says something and somebody else says something else. You know, you could have a skeptic, for example. I'm thinking aloud. You could have a skeptic. You know what a skeptic is? A doubter. You know, someone who says, "Oh, come on, I don't believe it." And then, no, but Harinameva Kevalam, it's sweeter than the sweetest. Really? Yes. And so on. The entire universe, from exalted Brahma down to the lowly clump of grass, is a product of the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord. Only that which is reality, satyam, satyam, punar, satyam. I say this is reality. The holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything. What are you saying? There's so many things other than the holy name. And you're saying only the holy name? Yes, that person is a true preceptor or a true father, a true mother, and a true friend also only if they teach one to always remember Harinameva Kevalam. I don't know. No, that's true. It's really the case. The holy name of Sri Hari alone is everything. And then there can be also the refrain, Harinama, Harinama, Harinameva Kevalam, Kalo nastyeva, nastyeva, nastyeva gatiranyata. And you could have personified Kali getting pushed off the stage each time, you know, by he's here when he hears Harinam, Harinam, Harinam. I don't know, something like this can be done. Let's go back to this song. Abrahmastamba paryantam sarvam mayamayam jagat satyam satyam punah satyam harinameva kevalam. Next verse. Saguru sapita chapi samata bandhavopisa shikshayet chet sada smartum harinameva kevalam harinama harinama harinameva kevalam kalo nasteva 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 gatiranyata nishvase nahi vishvasya Kadavruto bhavishyati Kirtaniya mato valyat Hare Nama Nameva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Gatiranyata. So like that, it's a half-baked idea. Do you think we could bake it fully?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
No?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I'm giving this as I'm trying to prime the pump. You can be thinking about this, and then we can work on it over these days. Is that all right?
Yes.
And then we'll have something by Friday that we can perform for everyone. Okay. Anyone have any ideas right now you want to share for this? Any thoughts come to mind? Yes, Anj.
Hare Krishna. My thought was like that. Oh, okay. What I thought was the process of the mind accepting the meaning of this song, and I like somehow there's like a performance of the mind coming to surrender to the meaning of the song. What you kind of said about like the internal data, I think that's a very vivid imagery. If maybe someone can like act that out, and then it's like a process of the mind surrendering. That's something that came into mind.
Yes, that's very good. That would make it into a dramatic development. So starting from the mind being quite standoffish from the idea, and then perhaps gradually more and more yes, no, maybe, and then finally with the final verse, Harinama, one is convinced. Yeah, good, very good. Okay. Any last thoughts? I hope this has been somehow engaging for you, and we can continue tomorrow. I want to continue with Chaitanya Chandra Dvaya Nataka and possibly Chaitanya Bhagavata. Yamuna, you wanted to say something?
Yes, is it also possible to put some other pictures inside, or just us?
To put pictures inside. We're talking about this? Oh, to project. Yes, we could. So if you want to suggest specific images, that's great. Okay. All right. I think we could gradually come to an end for today. Tomorrow, I believe there's going to be a switching of the schedules so that Satchidananda Swami will be speaking at 11:30 tomorrow, and our session will be in the afternoon, 4:30, I think? I think so. So, thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Hari Bol.